Hey folks, I'm Sarah and I'm on the 2025 jury for what I think is the best book prize for literary fiction from small presses. It's called the Republic of Consciousness Prize, United States and Canada, and it is dedicated to literary fiction from small presses in North America. Over the next few months, I will be sharing every single book nominated for the prize, and while I can't share my personal opinions on each book just yet, I will share enough details so that you can get to know the book and the publisher. Every book gets its very own video, and you are not going to want to miss a single one. Next up is book number 38, The Adjudicator by Susan Daitch, published by Green City Books. This is a cyberpunk thriller that's set several generations into the future in a world where everyone's genetic code is basically controlled by the state and or by major corporations, which are basically the same thing. So parents in this world, when they decide they want to start a family, they fill out a survey for what attributes they want their child to have. They turn that survey into a corporation. Their baby is grown in a lab and then is delivered to the parents just by hand after 9 months, is given over to the parents. All inherited illness, whether mental or physical illness, has been eliminated by this gene editing. It doesn't exist anymore. So enter the protagonist, Zeddy Lowe. She has a job called an adjudicator. She works for one of these major corporations, one of these major gene editing corporations, and her job is to investigate claims. Usually they come from parents. So parents coming back to the corporation saying that the corporation made a mistake in editing the genes, creating their child. It made a mistake in the genetic code of their child, and it is her job to investigate those claims. But as technology gets better, fewer and fewer of these mistakes are made. So basically, Zeddy's job is becoming obsolete. They don't really need her anymore because there are no mistakes. There are no mistakes being made anymore. This book opens on one day when one particularly intriguing case lands on Zeddy's desk, and it sets her off on a dangerous, wild hunt for answers. And one other thing, Zeddy has a neurological disorder called mirror touch synesthesia, which means that she can feel the emotions and the sensations that are being felt by anybody around her, which in a world of supposed perfect genetic control should not be something that she's able to do. So within this book, there are lots of interesting images and multimedia experience. It's a multimedia experience for sure. You get all sorts of photos and drawings throughout the book, and all of these little tabs actually are me tabbing after I finish the book QR codes that you can use to take you to even more fun media, everything from images to video to songs. And there are a lot of them. So these are not just images, these are all the QR codes that I've marked in the book here. So Susan Daitch is an acclaimed author of 6 novels and a collection of short stories. Her work was the subject of a review of contemporary fiction along with that of David Foster Wallace and William Vollmann. If I can find it, I'll link it below. I had someone tell me something really cool about her work. This is the first of her novels I read, but I had someone tell me something about her work that I think is so cool. The protagonists of all her novels tend to be people with jobs that are on the brink of being obsolete, and that sets them off on some sort of adventure or quest or, whatever it is. Green City Books is an independent publisher based in Bend, Oregon, and they say about themselves, "We are readers first and seek to publish works that inspire us and deserve a broader platform. We are genre agnostic and listen for the music of language in the books we curate and bring to the public." They also say about their name, Green City Books, An imaginary city, a green city, is a place where ideas and artistry thrive and eventually emerge into the real world. A city of the mind can be labyrinthine, overgrown, and mysterious, but at the center there is truth waiting to be revealed. To write is to unfold the topography of the mind in the real world and invite others to explore this terra incognita. The discovery of the unknown, whether through science or the arts, makes life meaningful. So I want to talk about these QR codes that are in this novel. This is the first time I've come across something like that in a novel. It's already an interesting decision to include other media like photographs and drawings in a novel, but the whole QR code is something different entirely. It is a decision to include media that cannot be understood unless you go outside the book. Here's the thing though, I do not read with my phone anywhere nearby. I won't ever. Books and phones for me are two things that don't mix. It's like drinking orange juice after brushing your teeth or nails on a chalkboard. I cringe at the very thought of touching my phone while I am reading a book. Encountering the QR codes were really like encountering little codes, coded messages that I couldn't understand, and nor would I understand because of my refusal to go get my phone. And I think that actually added something really interesting to the experience of reading this book for me and got me thinking about like not understanding things in books a little more broadly. So these for me were little blocks of black ink that I didn't understand popping up every now and then. And I knew if I engaged with technology that I didn't want to engage with, that I would be able to understand what they meant. But I didn't want to engage with that technology. And that was an active choice I made while I was reading. And I think there are implications regarding the themes of the book in terms of technology and choice and the intrusion of technology into all spaces of life. But I also think that the author is playing with the act of reading itself. She's forcing us to choose between stepping out of a world in order to fully understand that world, or choosing to stay within that world knowing that we won't fully understand it if we remain within it. And I think it's a fascinating way to play with the reading experience. So it brings me kind of to a broader question that goes beyond QR codes and goes more generally to encountering something that you can't read, something coded or something you don't understand within a book. What do you do? Are you someone who chooses to stay immersed within the book, knowing that you are missing something, knowing there is something you don't understand, but you choose to stay immersed within that world? Or are you someone who will get up and go find the answer so that you understand that piece of information, whether it's a definition of a word that you don't know, a historical event you're not familiar with, a scientific principle you aren't familiar with? You will get up and go leave the immersion of that world to go find that answer so that you more fully understand the world. I am someone who chooses not to leave the immersion of the world. I would rather not understand something but stay immersed within the world of a novel than to leave the world of the novel to go look something up so that I understand the world. I might afterwards go look up photos of a place that I'm not familiar with or information about a historical event that I don't know, might being the key word there. I don't always remember to do that. I would just rather stay within this world that's been created for me than break the illusion in order to understand that world more perfectly. But I know that is not the case for everybody. I know lots of people go and look up words they don't know or look up things they don't know in order to more perfectly understand the world that they are trying to experience. And I think that's such a fascinating question to ask yourself, and one that I've never really thought about like that before. So I would love to know examples in the comments of books where you have maybe had to grapple with that decision of whether you stay immersed in this world or you get up and you look up the definition to the word or the event that you don't know about. Which side do you fall on? Do you have examples of books that you've had to do this for or make this decision for? And this is my example for you. And that's just one of many incredible books nominated by one of many incredible publishers. The long list of 10 books is usually announced in mid-January-ish, but I guarantee you there are going to be more than 10 amazing books from these nominees. So if you love offbeat, under the radar literary fiction, you are going to want to follow along. Click above or below for the next nominated book. If I've filmed it, it'll be available there. If not, stay tuned for just a little while longer. And in the meantime, you can click the playlist below that will contain all of the nominated books that I've shared so far. Again, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.